Hello and welcome back to Geography with Justin. In this video, we will learn how to measure and create lines and polygons using Google Earth Pro. This program is available to download for free. We will use Washington, D.C. for this exercise. The city layout is based on the plan by French-American engineer and architect Pierre L'Enfant. From above, what really sticks out is the geometric shapes created by the city's boulevards. So we're going to take a few different measurements here. The first one we're going to do is we're going to measure the reflecting pool. That's here between the Lincoln Memorial and the World War II Memorial. As you can see when you zoom in, it kind of changes the angle. If you want to change that, hold shift and move your mouse, and that will return to a bird's eye view. So here's the reflecting pool. What we want to do to start measuring is click here on Show Ruler, and that gives us some different options here. The ruler metric measurements that can be saved and imported as layers in ArcMap and other GIS programs. So to measure the reflecting pool, we're going to use the Polygon tab, and so once you open it, have it selected as mouse navigation. We're going to zoom in a little bit to get better measurements. So you go to the point where you want to measure and just click and release, and then scroll back over to the next place you want to measure and click and release. So you want to move that a little bit until you just click and hold and drag it to where you want and let go. This is an example, doesn't have to be perfectly on there. Oops. That's another thing. If you click on one to move it, it'll automatically start from that point. So you can see since I clicked back on this one, then it went from this one to the next line. And so to delete the point, you just right click on it and it goes away. So then click back on the last one in the order, and that'll make this the one that it goes from. Slide back over here, and that will complete the polygon there. Okay, and so as you can see here, we have our polygon marked for the reflecting pool. You can change on here the unit of measure for the perimeter and area, just based on personal preference or your project specifications. Let's change this to feet and acres. Okay, so we can see here that the perimeter of the reflecting pool is approximately 4,396 feet, and the area is approximately 7.38 acres. And so now if we want to save this as something that we can use later, just hit here on save, and you can name it. So we'll name this reflecting pool. You can put a description, we don't need one here. Style and color, so you can change the color too that we want for it. So just make this a nice blue here. And the measurements, okay. So go ahead and click OK, and that saves it here to our temporary places. The next thing we're going to measure is the Washington Monument base, and so the ruler tool also has a function for measuring circles. So here's the Washington Monument here. So what you want to do to measure a circle is click on the center of the circle, release, and then just drag it to the circumference that you want. So there we go, that's our circumference there, and then click on it again to stop. And so you can see on here the radius, the area, and the circumference of the base there of the Washington Monument. So we'll go ahead and save that as well. Washington Monument. Let's leave that as red. We don't need to change the color on that. Click OK, and that will also be added here. So you can see it shows different symbols for the shapes. Okay, next we'll use the ruler to measure a straight line. If your line isn't on flat ground, like here, the actual ground itself, it's not best to use the line or path measurement. You'll want to use a 3D path. And so let's move over here, and we're gonna measure the Theodore Roosevelt Memorial Bridge. And so we'll open up our ruler again, and since this is elevated from the ground, we'll choose the 3D path. Okay, so we'll just measure the main slabs of the main section across here. So we'll click on here, at the edge of that slab there in the middle. Get another point in there. And just trying to make it as straight as it can be since the bridge curves. So drag that a little bit maybe. There we go. Okay, so we can see that this section of the bridge, the main span that goes over the water here, is 2,170 feet approximately. So go ahead and save this. Let's change the color, green, and we'll call that TR Memorial Bridge, and go ahead and click OK for that. Okay, so now we have the different shapes that we collected here in our places, and we need to save it in a format that we can import into another program. So to do that, click right on the place and select Save Place As, and get the file location you want. And we're going to save this as a KML format. So this stands for Keyhole Markup Language. It's named for Keyhole Earth Viewer, which is the original name of Google Earth before Google bought it. And then, so you can click on here, you can either save it as a KML or a KMZ. The KMZ is simply a zipped or compressed KML file. And so KML files are used for displaying geographic data, including locations and image overlays. So we'll keep the name reflecting pool, save it as a KML. Go ahead and save that, and we'll do that for the Washington Monument and for the Roosevelt Bridge. And then we have them all saved as KML files. So that's it for this tutorial. To learn more, please like this video and subscribe to my channel using the links below. You may also want to watch the video to learn how to import these KML as layers in ArcMap. So thank you for watching.